we're on, girl. We
All
are
right.
live.
All right.
Welcome to the Actors Talk with Gabby Kennedy, being presented to you by URBANFEST 360, a film festival happening in Orlando September 20th and 21st. Now, we have a special announcement coming up for you guys, a special celebrity guest. But please join me in welcoming Ken with us today. Now, Ken, I don't want to botch your last name. Will you please introduce yourself to our audience?
It's actually fairly simple. It's Arquelio. Arquelio.
Leo.
Arquelio.
Nice. Okay. All right. All right. And we are joined by Ken to talk about his film, his short film today, Disco Beats, which is an official selection for URBANFEST 360. Ken, I can't wait to talk to you about this film. I saw a short interview with Pepe talking, and I thought that was just so cool to hear him talk about his inspiration for the film. So just a little bit about you, Ken. I have just a little something here. Ken is a director, a producer, a writer, and an actor with over 20 years of experience in the entertainment industry. Ken is also theoretically trained, right, Ken? Is that right?
Yeah, theatrically trained, yes.
Theatrically trained, and also a theater producer starring alongside Pepe Serna in his short film Disco Beats. And did I say Pepe's last name right?
Pepe Serna, that's
Serna.
right.
All right. So we're going to get into talking about the cast in just a little bit, but I want to start off with something a little bit fun. I want to know what's playing on your playlist right now. What music are you listening to?
You know, without getting too much in the weeds, Disco Beats, we've had just a tremendous amount of success. We're on our 10th film festival coming up. Ooh. And just over the course of the festivals, we decided to expand the story into a feature film. And rather than it being the disco era and disco music, we're going to have it take place with Cuban salsa music. So the dancing, of course, we're still going to have the same elements of dance, etc. And the story is going to be very similar, and the characters as well. But I've been listening to a ton of Cuban salsa music, all kinds of salsa, you know, from the Dominican Republic and of course Cuba. That's kind of where it gets started. But that's really been all I've been listening to. I'm immersing myself in it. I've been a fan of that kind of music for a long time, but it seems like whatever the project is, I listen to that music, you know, whatever inspires me. So I've gone from listening to a lot of disco music, which I didn't mind, of course, because I was raised on it. But now, again, to answer your question, a lot of Cuban and salsa music.
Nice. And Ken, you're a dancer yourself, right? Do you dance?
Well, I appreciate that. I wouldn't consider myself, by all means, I'm not a trained dancer. I am Latino. I'm Puerto Rican, so I do kind of have some rhythm. I was raised in a dancing family. My earliest memories are going to, you know, to weddings and what have you, and everyone dances, the children, the parents, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always been a dancer, but I've taken fairly few dance classes. So a lot of it is just kind of natural rhythm.
Ooh. You could have fooled me. I mean, I saw a clip of you dancing in Disco Beats, and I'm like, man, this guy is a really good dancer. You could have fooled me, but it just comes to you naturally.
Well, we had a great choreographer, dance choreographer. Her name is Tasia Montsoros, and I have to give major kudos to her because I won't lie to you. When I came to her with this project, we wanted to, of course, know what kind of music we were going to use, what songs we were going to be dancing to before we choreographed the dance numbers. Yeah. And we didn't find out, as you can imagine, when you're getting music for films, you know, you have to get copyright clearance. So there was a handful of songs that we wanted to choose. And until we knew what song exactly we were going to be getting, we couldn't necessarily start the choreography. So needless to say, I was really kind of stressed out. You know, a month or so before we started filming. But anyways, I got hats off to Tasia. She's a wonderful choreographer. She did the choreography for myself and Elia Cantu. And of course, Pepe, you know, you saw him dancing as well. But hats off to her.
Yeah, yeah, nice. I was gonna ask you a little bit about the choreography for Disco Beats. How did you guys put it together? Like, was it just her there teaching you, or were there more elements that had to go into the choreography because this was for film?
Um, a lot of it started with Sia, and a lot of it again. Once we knew the song, then we had an idea of as to what the movement would look like. Of course, when I wrote this, I had a visual element in my mind as to what the dance numbers would look like. More specifically, the very last number in the film, it's completely separate. The dancing is entirely different than it is in the disco numbers that you see, the disco dance numbers that you see in the beginning of the film. There's a handful of them, I think 5 or 6 of them, before we actually get to the final dance sequence, which takes place in disco heaven, which actually is in heaven, but at a disco in heaven.
Nice.
The song that we used is When Will I See You Again by the 3 Degrees, which anyone who grew up in the 70s and 80s is familiar with. It's a beautiful song. It's very balletic,
Yeah.
and I wanted a ballet element to the beginning of the dance sequence that ended our film. So it was kind of a juggle between the both of them.
Yeah, nice. Now, I read somewhere that disco music was originally known as gospel. Is that right? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, the reference I think I put that in the press kit somewhere. The reference was in the '70s. Disco music was considered gospel. That's kind
I
of how I came from
see.
it. I had a wonderful auntie. I dedicated the film. At the end of the film, you'll see I dedicated to my uncle Lou, who Pepe Serna's character played, and then my aunt Gloria. And my aunt Gloria was a huge fan of Motown music and soul music, disco music. She introduced me to Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass, all those great Donna Summer. Um, but that's that. I think that's kind of where that term came from. At that time, disco music was considered the gospel music of the '70s, especially if you wanted to dance.
I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
Uh, Ken, tell me a little bit about your background and how you became a producer.
Well, it's been kind of a long journey. I moved
20
to
plus
LA,
years.
gosh, almost over 25 years ago. I originally came as an actor. I pounded my head literally as an actor for many years. Anyone who's an actor can imagine it's a very tough industry. It still is. The amount of rejection is tremendous. You have to develop a very thick hide.
Yeah.
And I it led me to the theater. I actually did a lot of my acting in the theater for many years, and I dedicated myself to learning my craft in the theater as well, and I loved it. Um, and then there was a period of time where I needed a break from acting,
Yeah.
and I developed a business in real estate that became very fruitful for myself and my wife, and I became very comfortable. Which, of course, anyone who's acting understands. If you can have a great day job, that's always wonderful. But in this case, I found one that was very fruitful for me. I made a very good living, and it afforded me all the things that I wanted to do in my life.
Yes.
Um, Without getting too forward, and I know we'll hit on this, later, but my uncle Lou, who again is based in the film Disco Beats, he was a father figure of mine, a very, very strong father figure, and he had a tremendous life. He taught me a lot of wonderful life lessons, and he passed away. And I actually was with him towards the last 6 months of his life. I was with him till the very moment that he passed away. And when he passed, it made me take tremendous pause
Yeah.
in what I was doing with my life, what really made me happy.
Yeah.
This happened, gosh, almost 5 years ago, and it's kind of led me to where I am today. But at that moment, I decided to rededicate myself to the creative bone that I have in my body. I took a lot of writing classes. I taught myself to write. I began writing scripts. I produced a pilot presentation. I found a really great partner for that. And then I decided, maybe I should start writing and directing things for myself. And that's kind of I guess in a long way to answer your question, that's
Yeah.
kind of led me to where we are today.
Yeah, yeah. So Disco Beats comes from a real place for you. This movie is dedicated to your Uncle Lou.
Absolutely. It's interesting you say that. Whenever we submit to film festivals, without giving too much of the movie away, there's a twist at the end of the film that
Okay.
encapsulates the lesson that my uncle taught me.
Mm.
However, if I share that too much when I'm introducing the film, then I give the ending away, which I don't want to do. But anyways, when I'm submitting the film to a film festival, there's usually a cover letter involved, and I always say, don't let the title fool you. Disco Beats, yes, it's a fun, great title, and it tells you a lot about what's going on. But underneath it all, there's a real wonderful, very heartfelt message that if you take the time to watch the film, I promise anyone who watches it that you will feel what I felt when I wrote it.
I love that. I love that. And that's why I do what I do, because filmmakers, every now and then, very often have real stories and real messages that come along with these amazing visuals that they literally sometimes put blood, sweat, and tears into. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you
Sure.
for sharing that. And rest in peace, Uncle Lou. But I mean, you dedicating this film to him. Yeah, you dedicating this film to him is amazing. It's amazing. So just a little bit about Disco Beats. Detroit circa 1979. Get into it. An
Mhm.
elderly man. Oh gosh, here. All right. An elderly man tries to convince a jaded disco dance instructor to teach him to dance so he can surprise his wife on their 60th wedding anniversary in 1 week.
Right.
So I can imagine the ups and downs of what Disco Beats must be like. I'm already saying, gosh, I want to see this film, and I know you get asked that all the time. But is there a place where we can see this film, or in the future?
Well, right now it's running the film festival circuit. Most film festivals, you're not allowed to put your films online.
That's right.
So once we finish the, excuse me, the film festival route, then we're going to reevaluate, what we're going to do with the film next, if we're going to post it online or what have you. The film festival route started for us pretty much in April of this year, so we have until April of next year. We're probably halfway through the festival runs as far as our film is concerned. So I'm guessing within the next,
Nice.
well, 6 to 8 months, we'll probably have a better idea. But right now, if you can catch it at a film festival near you, then that's probably at this point the best place.
That's great. That's great. And you have those film festivals listed on your website, right? The next film festival that you'll be in.
We do, we do. If you follow us on Instagram, we have a website for Vincero Pictures. Of course, it's vinceropictures.com. On Instagram, it's at Vincero Pictures, at Disco Beats Movie, and then of course at Ken Arquelio. Either of those three, if you follow us on any of those, you'll be able to follow, the trajectory of what our film's been going through.
Nice, nice. Okay. Now, as you talk about Vincero Pictures, can you tell me where that all started for you? I mean, you did talk a little bit about your journey as a producer, but talk to me a little bit about Vincero Pictures and where that name comes from.
Again, my uncle Louis,
Hey,
he
Uncle
was
Lou.
a big opera fan. Vincero is actually the last line of a song, an aria, if you will, for those opera fans, from a song called an aria called Nessun Dorma. It's
Okay.
from a famous opera called Turandot, and it's the last line in that song, Nessun Dorma, Vincero, and it translates to victory, or I will win, I will be victorious, and
Nice.
that's how the name of the company was born. And Vincero Pictures basically was created again. Um, the last 5 years of my life, I call it a creative rebirth. I really rededicated myself, reevaluated what I was doing with my life, reevaluated what's really important, because we all have an expiration date. I saw it happen with my Uncle Lou. And it was born of trying to create as many opportunities that I can to tell the stories that I want to tell
Yeah.
and to give myself a platform to tell them. And, that's pretty much how it was born.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cheers to you and best of luck in your storytelling journey. It really matters to have something of your own. And now you're doing it sort of, if this would have happened to you a few years, or I would say in the beginning of your journey, 20, 25 plus years ago, it might not have been what it is now. It might not have meant what it means to you now.
No, absolutely not. I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm a firm believer in life happens the way it happens, when it's supposed to happen, and how it happens.
Yeah.
And I just had this thought this morning. I forget why, but I tend to do this, and I have to remind myself that, again, these are all lessons that I learned, if not from my Uncle Lou, but certainly understanding, that life ends for all of us.
Yeah.
And but this is I forget the question you're asking me, but I know I got on this tangent. But it's what taught me to go after whatever it is that makes you happy.
Yeah, just talking about now being the time for this.
Absolutely. That's what it was. Forgive me, but yeah, if this would have happened to me, I couldn't have done disco beats 10 years ago, even 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm older. I'm certainly much more wiser than I was back then. And really spending time with someone who passes changes a person. Unfortunately for me, and sometimes I see this as a fortunate thing, my father, my Uncle Lou's brother, again, who was my father, he passed away 3 months prior to my Uncle Lou passing away. And I was able to spend time with both of them. But dealing with their passing was a tremendous catalyst in what I've been doing in the last 5 years. So
yeah,
here we are.
Yeah, here we are. And you know what? I just want to give a plug in here. I had an interview with Vicky Sai. She's also a filmmaker who's into her film into URBANFEST 360. Her film is called Recall, and her film is about memorializing your last phone call with someone who's no longer here.
Oh.
And gosh, just having that conversation with her, it took me into a place of just thinking about some of the loss I've experienced, some of the conversations, and some of the last moments that I've had with some people that I've lost. So gosh, as you're talking about that, and you're talking about your uncle and your father, it just remind me of Recall, and she has a very real story that goes into her film as well. So I can't wait for URBANFEST.
I'm looking forward. Believe me, I'm so drawn to these stories. One of the fascinating things to me about telling these kind of stories is, and I certainly was cognizant of this when I was writing the script, was I didn't want it to become maudlin. And I didn't want it to fall into this trap that is easy to fall into when you're dealing with, with grief or loss or what have you. And again, if you see Disco Beats, especially the ending, it's a very uplifting, very emotional ending. And it's the way that I have interpreted loss. It's the way that I've interpreted and processed my grief. And I think it's a very uplifting thing. I mean, if you believe in the hereafter, whatever it is for whoever you are, whatever religion you believe in, I believe that we are bound to meet with those people that are important in our lives when we pass. It's very inspiring for me. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It is. So on the upside of it, I want to talk a little bit about the team that helped you create this amazing film, especially Pepe. Can you talk to me a little bit about the cast?
Pepe Serna. Pepe Serna lives about a half an hour from me.
Okay.
I wrote this script with Pepe in mind. Pepe, for those of you who don't know, in fact, he turned 81 just last week. He's had a tremendous career. He's worked for over 60 years. His IMDb page is filled with credits.
Yeah.
Probably the most notable, or I should say memorable, thing that he's ever done. And sometimes I wonder if he regrets it. Scarface, the movie Scarface, of course, most of us seen it with Tony Montana, Al Pacino. There's a scene in the bathtub where Tony Montana's partner, Angel Hernandez, has his arms sawed off in the shower with the chainsaw.
Okay.
That actor is Pepe Serna.
Okay.
Everyone remembers the chainsaw scene because at the time it was certainly one of the most violent things you've ever seen on screen. But anyways, that was Pepe's claim to fame. He's since done a tremendous amount of things since that. He was in The Jerk with Steve Martin, Silverado with Kevin Costner. He's worked a lot with Edward James Olmos. They did American Me together.
Yeah.
They were in The Ballad of Gregorio Cortez. Pepe has a long, very extensive career. I half expected him to tell me to go pound salt. Honestly, I was a first time director. I've certainly, have an acting background, a writing background, but I thought, why not? I saw him on a TV interview, a local TV interview. He was promoting a documentary about his life, as a matter of fact, and I thought, oh gosh, I would love to have him do this. And I forwarded him the script with just a little background on Vincero Pictures and what we've done thus far. And within a half an hour, he called me and he responded to the script the same way that I intended when I wrote it. And he doesn't have to do this. He didn't have to. Someone at his level, certainly, I would imagine most actors at that point don't want to bother with short films.
Yeah.
But fortunately for me, Pepe saw what I intended for him to see. And he climbed aboard, and he was a godsend. He really was. I mean, he was a tremendous influence on everyone on set. He really set the tone for everyone. I'll share you a story if you'll allow me.
Absolutely.
The magic of Pepe Serna and the magic of what happens sometimes when something unfortunate happens in a film set. The main character in Disco Beats, who Pepe plays, is, of course, an elderly man, and he wants to learn how to dance. However, unbeknownst to my character and everyone else in the film, he has cancer. The character has cancer. We cast Pepe, of course. He agreed to play the part. 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks before we started filming, Pepe himself found out that he had cancer. No kidding. This is the absolute truth. I was actually in the car with him when he found this out, and I was blown away. Certainly at the the news itself is not very very uplifting. But I gave Pepe every opportunity to back out of the project because for obvious reasons I completely understood. But again, imagine the irony. Our lead actor playing a character who has cancer himself finds out that he has cancer. Pepe, not once did he waver. He did not. He insisted on playing the part. He insisted on doing it because he thought, rightfully so, that it would be a lesson to everyone to live your life, to not let things set you back. You continue to move forward. And I'm only sharing this with you because Pepe is adamant about sharing his story with other people as well. He posts on Instagram when he has treatments. Fortunately, he just finished his chemotherapy and he's now doing some kind of other treatment, but he's doing much better. I mean, I should certainly let everyone know he's doing much better. He looks great. We were at a couple of film festivals the last couple of weeks, and he's certainly his old vivacious self again. But anyways, that is a testament to Pepe Serna and the way that he lives his life. He really, so Pepe, I cannot thank him enough. I continue to do so. He really made this all happen. And what ends up on screen is a testament to the magic that Pepe Serna is. I really believe that.
Yeah. And I'm listening to you talk about the magic of Pepe, but the magic of you, Ken, it just further notes that you're right where you're supposed to be. When things like that line up, you're like, gosh, I'm a part of this story. Like something I had to go through that got me to this place to now I'm telling a very real story dedicated to Uncle Lou along with Pepe, who's facing the same problems that you wrote down. It's like, where did this story come from for you? Now you're writing. First, you had to learn how to write. Then now you wrote the story. Now you get the character who's highly decorated that's going through the exact same thing. You get to put this on screen, on film. It's now going to live forever and probably touch lives everywhere. I love it. It's great.
Wonderful. And I would be remiss, of course, there's more characters in the film aside from myself.
Yes.
Elia Cantu plays our female lead. She plays Rosie. She owns the dance studio called Disco Beats. Elia she plays Jada on Days of Our Lives.
Okay.
It's a daytime
I
soap opera, of
recognize her.
course. She nailed the part during the audition. I mean, she was exactly what we wanted. She was very vivacious. She's very alive. She's very charming.
Is she a dancer?
She has dance ability as well, like myself, but we both benefited from our dance choreographer, Tasia. But Elia was wonderful as well. She has this innate quality to charm anyone, and she certainly did it with Pepe and myself.
Yeah.
But she just any scene she's in, she just brightens up. She brightens up the screen. So I was grateful to get her. And then Shireen Crutchfield is another actor who we were really fortunate to get. She started out as a singer. She was the lead singer of a group called the Good Girls from the 90s. They were signed with Motown. They had a few hits in the 90s. She's a wonderful actress. She had us rewrite the character for her.
Okay.
How good she was. She was wonderful. She plays Pepe's granddaughter in the film. And again, without giving too much of the film away, there's a very pivotal scene at the end, towards the end of the film, that Shireen completely delivers, and she plays it just on the nose. I mean, she had us crying during the audition process. That's how good she was. Again, as you can imagine, a subject matter like this, if you dive too far in the wrong direction, then you're not going to get the effect that you want. And Shireen was she too was a godsend. I mean, I can't thank her and Elia, as well as all our other actors as well. But certainly Elia, Shireen, and Pepe Serna are certainly are at the top of the list for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for telling us about your amazing cast. I definitely noticed some of the fashion in the film. How did you pull off some of those looks from the 70s?
Well, you have to thank my wife for that. My wife, Brenda Schneider, she did the costume design for the film.
Nice.
As you can imagine, it was a low budget film. So we certainly didn't have the funds to go as all out as we wanted to. But nonetheless, I wrote the script with that intent as well. I understood we had these constraints. We had 2 locations, basically a dance studio and then an office. So we had a little bit of room to play with the fashion, but a lot of studying old videos. I cannot tell you how many Soul Train, which I used to watch.
Right? I mean, Detroit now, come on. Yeah.
But I watched a lot of Soul Train just for the fashion, American Bandstand, a lot of those shows just to see the fashions were in the 70s. Brenda certainly has a great eye for fashion. So everything that you see on screen certainly, went through her eyes. So I can't thank her enough.
Yeah. And how about your team at Vincero Pictures? You mentioned your wife. Does she work with you on your other projects as well?
No, she as I guess as most or some spouses of anyone in the film industry wants very little to do with the nuts and bolts of it. She likes to go to the film festivals, the premieres, what have you. But she worked on this one. She also designs jewelry for any projects that we have. But other than that, she's kind of on the sidelines. I had a wonderful producer. I still do. I still work with her. Her name is Stephanie Bell. She's a member of the Producers Guild. I work with her on another project that Vincero Pictures developed a couple of years ago. And she really was. I call her my movie wife, my production wife, because I could not do a majority of what ended up on the screen, and certainly behind the scenes without Stephanie Bell. So I certainly have to give her a shout out. And we had a wonderful director of photography, our cinema photographer, Joel Schaefer. Again, I work with him as well on another project. I was fortunate enough to get these people to work with me just by the strength of our script and the other project that Vincero Pictures we produced prior to this one, because otherwise there's no way we could have afforded them The look of the film is because of the inspiration that Joel gave me and the film itself. And then just production-wise, Stephanie Bell was, I can't thank her enough, and I still do.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I know how that feels to have these people come around and just feel like they just are exactly what you need. And you know what? It's because you deserve it. It's because these stories are supposed to come true. They're supposed to be on film, and everything that you don't have, somebody else comes right along with it. So trust that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that. And if anything, it's a lesson to anyone on any level. Certainly, low budget films, independent films. If you can write something that can evoke an emotion in someone, and it doesn't have to be sad or grief, or it can be humor or irony, whatever it is. If you can write a script that has a message to it and someone can respond to it, you'll have a lot easier way in getting people who don't necessarily work for X amount of dollars willing to work with you. And that's how I got Pepe. That's how I got Joel to be our cinematographer. These people are certainly capable. Elia as well, and Shireen, they're certainly capable and have made much more money on projects. But they were willing to take a chance on me and our production because of the not to toot my own horn, but it's a wonderful story. It was really it's a really good script. And I think it's a story that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah, and congratulations to you for even being able to write such a story. And I believe you deserve it. You put in a lot of work. You've been in this industry for a long time, and you deserve people that will come along and help you and get it done, get the work done. So cheers to you, Ken. Cheers to you.
Thank you.
As the director of this film, can you tell us something that we may not know just by looking at the film, maybe some behind the scenes stories or something like that?
Excuse me. Well, I guess the fact that I guess what comes to me at first is it's supposed to take place in Detroit in 1979, and we filmed it in downtown Los Angeles, of course, current day. But by the magic of just the camera angles, we had and locations as well. We had a wonderful dance studio with this wonderful brick wall that you see in these old buildings, which we cheated for Detroit, and a lot of our set design as well. And then we found this awesome office again in downtown LA, the ugliest green carpeting, the wood paneling on the walls, low ceilings. I mean, it was actually advertised as a 1970s office. And we were very, very fortunate to use those two locations. And I think if you see the film, hopefully you're transported to 1979 and certainly Detroit, just by, again, the location and the set design that we had. So that's probably what jumps out to me as well. Above and beyond the music, of course, we had to use music that was back in the 70s as well. So I think all of those elements, I think, hopefully gives people the impression that they're watching something that was in 1979 in Detroit.
Okay. All right. So what's next for you, Ken? Can you give us a peek into what Vincero Pictures is working on next? I mean, I know we're still in the heart and soul of Disco Beats, but what's next?
I actually wrote a feature film for Pepe before I wrote Disco Beats. And I thought, there's no way he's ever going to work with me on a feature film. So let me do something that's a short film, which of course is Disco Beats. But I wrote a feature film that takes place in the mountains of Idlewild, which is a mountainside community in California, about 3 generations of Latino men who are going through this very strained relationship because of this very traumatic event that happens to the grandfather way back when he was a child. So the story is about the grandfather, his son, and then his grandson.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Disco Beats happens. So as I mentioned earlier, we have decided to expand on Disco Beats into a feature film. And that's kind of overtaken what was on my plate prior to Disco Beats. So right now we're in the process of expanding the script. Of course, I'll be writing it as well. I was just writing this morning. But we're going to have pretty much this, again, the same elements, story-wise. Pepe fortunately has agreed to replay his role of Lou. I will certainly play my part, but we're going to do it with salsa music. It's going to be current day. It's not going to be in the 70s,
Okay.
but it's going to be current day. And that's where my heart and soul is right now for the next 6 months to a year. So send us
Yeah.
good thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And call me. Call me.
I will.
There's nothing like making a movie in your, I don't want to say your own backyard, but close to home. It's like we all love to have that comfort of not having to travel so far to set. Of course, it's always nice to travel, but when you're doing it right in your own backyard, it's like it's just something that's much easier about it and better because then you're working with people in your own community. So
Actually, absolutely. I completely agree. I'm grateful to live in an area where, California. There's all kinds of locations, and within 2 hours you can be anywhere and find different climates, different locations, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah.
Disco Beats, the feature, which is going to have a different title, of course, since it's going to be salsa music, Cuban, heavily influenced Cuban. We are heavily leaning towards filming it in Florida,
Oh,
preferably in the South Miami area.
nice.
Not without giving too much away, but we've done some location scouting once already. And I'm going back to Miami next month just to do some more research, have some meetings. But we are leaning towards filming it in Florida. So I guess that'll be
Nice.
for the next 6 months to 12 months, depending on how quickly we can put this together.
Nice. And Miami is perfect for what you're describing. Trust me, you got it right then. So doing that in Miami, and I know that Florida is going to welcome you with open arms to create
Mhm.
this film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we need that. Bring it right on to Florida. Bring it on. So, Ken, where can we find out more about your projects and connect with you more? Your social media. I know you mentioned your website. Will you tell me that one more time?
Yeah, sure. It's Vincero Pictures, Vincero Pictures.com. That's our website, of course. And then Instagram at Vincero Pictures, at Ken Arquelio, at Disco Beats Movie. If you go to either of the three, you'll definitely be able to connect to the other. But at this point, that's the best way to follow what we're doing. Every time we get into a film festival, we're posting on there. Anytime we attend a film festival, any new news that's coming to us, we certainly want to share that with everyone. So those are the best ways to keep track of what we're doing.
Yeah. All right. And I have a few more questions for you before we wrap up our interview. All
I'm enjoying.
right. I want to know if you could give advice to somebody who's looking at you and say, "Hey, I want to have my own production company or I want to direct a film." What advice would you give to a
Follow your heart. I barely let you finish that question only because I believe strongly that you have to follow your heart. You really do, and don't listen to the naysayers. Fear is a tremendous impediment to growth, and I say that through experience. I had a desire to write, certainly produce, and even direct. And then up until 5 years ago, there was a lot of things that I either have or haven't done creatively because I was afraid. Again, I was making a very good living. I still do. Fortunately, I can do both at this point, but I definitely am rededicating myself to what really inspires me. You
Now
have,
it's time.
and we all have one shot at this.
Yeah.
And again, if you see this, I hate to keep harping on Disco Beats, but it's what got me here. And if you're fortunate enough to see the film, I think you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. But you have to make the decisions in your life that make yourself happy first. And don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. There's a lot of people who will tell you why you can't or shouldn't do things.
Yeah.
And if you listen to them, you'll never do them. I promise you. So
Yeah.
follow your heart.
That's great advice. That's great advice. I love to ask that question because I'll say it again. Prior to entering this industry, there were a lot of things I didn't know. And I'm like, gosh, if there were only people that were having these conversations openly, then, you know, the next generation would be able to operate differently, help adjust the culture of the industry. So for you to say something like that, you're not the first filmmaker to say something about following your heart, not letting fear lead you, disregard what other people are saying. People need to hear that. And the more they hear it, they'll be like, you know what? I can do this too. This is something that I can do, and start to learn the tricks of the trade that make us resilient. So,
Amen.
yeah, yeah. I always like to also ask, how can we support you? How can the community of filmmakers support Vincero Pictures or support you as a filmmaker, Ken?
Well, if our Disco Beats is in a city near you at a film festival, come see it. If you do, go to our web pages or our Instagram account, and tell people how much you love it. Let your friends know. Spread the word. Of course, we all have the benefit now of social media, and
Yes.
you reach a lot of people that way. So if you follow us on social media and then you share your thoughts, about Disco Beats with your friends, that's certainly a tremendous amount of help. And then just send me good thoughts.
Nice.
Even that as well. I have a lot of important people in my life, friends and family, and just knowing that they're pulling for me is really an inspiration as well.
Yes, yes, yes. How do you balance your relationships with your friends and your family and doing everything that you do? You mentioned you have a really successful career. You're also now you have a production company. How do you balance all that all?
I'm a very good time manager. I
Yeah.
always have been. It's I'm not going to say that it's not difficult at times, but I again, the lessons of my Uncle Lou and of my father as well. I mean, again, this film is about disco beats, but my father taught me these things. These same things. Family is very important.
Yeah.
My relationship to my family is first and foremost in my life. I need to make sure that they are happy first. But I find balance by, I guess, if you know what's important, what's really important, then it's easy to balance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that sounds like a little bit of relationship advice too, not just, like for your spouse, for your
it,
partner. Yeah.
it absolutely is. It
Yeah.
absolutely is. I'm an early riser as well. If I have more work to do, my wife will attest to this. I tend to get up earlier rather than stay up later. My day just becomes much longer, but I make it work.
Yeah, yeah. I prefer. I think I'm a late night person. I do wake up early. I have young kids, so of course I'm up early. But at night, it just seems like after. I think what it is after I get everything else that I need to get done, then I can concentrate on myself. What do I need to do for my business, or what else do I need to do to pour into myself? And it just seems like late at night, I don't have anybody else to take care of, and I can just focus on me. So. I'm a late nighter.
Whatever works, right?
Yes.
We don't have children. We have two cats. Uh,
Hey.
are notorious. I believe it or not, I usually wake up between 3 or 4 in the morning to do my writing. It's the most quiet time. It's the same thing as middle of the night. Actually, it is the middle of the night, depending on when you start. But it's the most quiet time for me.
Yeah.
And they are my alarm clocks. If I don't get up on my own, my cats will remind me because they're creatures of habit,
Nice.
like I am. So, but whatever.
Nice. Nice. Now, Ken, before we're done, I'm all out of questions, but before we're done, I want to play a little quick game with you, just something a little fun.
Hit me.
It's called the Hollywood Hot Seat. Okay, and it's just a quick response
All right.
game. All right. So, first question: coffee or green juice?
Coffee or green juice?
Yeah, coffee or a healthy drink, a smoothie or
Smoothie.
a smoothie. No green juice for you.
No, I've never been a coffee drinker, and anything green that you have to drink, I probably would not drink. So a smoothie, a fruit smoothie, I guess.
All right, all right. I'll take a coffee. All
There you
right, red carpet or behind the scenes?
go. My wife, red carpet. behind the scenes me.
Okay, nice, nice. For me, I'll be on the red carpet at Urban Fest. So please, if you're joining us, will you be at Urban Fest?
I definitely am. It's on my calendar. I'm looking forward to it. I've been to Florida a dozen times,
Nice.
12, 15 times. Never been to Orlando. So this is my first trip. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, nice. Now, will you spend a little more time in Orlando? Will you do other things in the film festival?
Sure, we actually plan on coming in a few days earlier. As you can imagine, sometimes the film festivals, depending on how they schedule, you don't, and when your film is screened, I've unfortunately been in the position of being in a couple film festivals that are really close to each other, so I don't get enough time to spend time either before or afterwards. This one, as of this point, I'm going to be able to come in a few days early, uh,
Nice.
and of course I want to see the other films. I mean, just the one that you mentioned, what was it? Recall?
Recall.
Yeah, I wrote it down just to remind myself. I definitely want to see that one. But we
Nice.
plan on spending some time in Orlando. I'm looking forward.
Nice. Well, if you're looking for a great place to take your wife on a date, and I'm not advertising for them, but there's a really great place called the Debonair Supper Club. It's upscale. Sometimes they have really great events that happen there. I'm not in advertising for the Debonair, but it is a really nice place to be at, nightlife or fine dining. So
Mhm.
just a little plug in there.
All right.
All right. My next question is early call time or a late night wrap?
Early call time, or what was the late
Or
night?
a late night wrapping for film. If you're do you prefer to get in and shoot early in the day, or you prefer late
I'm
night?
the same way. I'm an early riser. I mean,
Early.
I'm cognizant of the fact that most people aren't, and that's I'm willing to do both. But if I had my choice, I would like to start earlier.
Yeah, yeah, I would say early too. I think a lot of us would agree. Early call time, you just get in and get it done. And if you need more time, then you have more time.
Hmm.
All right, what was the last thing you Googled, Ken? And don't say Gabby Kennedy.
Um, oh, I guess Pepe Serna's IMDb page. I referenced that when we were talking. I forget. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine, and he asked me about a film that Pepe was in, and he couldn't remember the title. And I was on Google going through Pepe's IMDb trying to find the title. And anyway, that's that to answer your question. Pepe
Nice,
Serna's IMDb page.
nice, nice. Ken, who is your dream co-star? Living or dead? It says living or dead.
I have two.
Okay.
Uh, Female Meryl Streep is my absolute favorite actor.
Hey, Meryl.
Uh, and and if Meryl wasn't available, certainly Denzel.
Denzel.
I mean, I'm a fan of actors, of course. I started as an actor, but those are my top two, Meryl and Denzel.
Yeah, Denzel has done some great things. I'm looking forward to everything he's about to do. I think that now that he's older, it's like he is in go mode. I love it.
Denzel never lies. I have to say Viola as well. She's taken the mantle over. Although Meryl's still doing her thing, I know she's redoing Devil Wears Prada, the
Yes.
sequel they just started. But Viola, of course, is certainly in that stratosphere. But either three, they never lie on screen. There's never a false moment,
Yeah.
and I'm completely enthralled whenever either of them are on screen. So.
Yeah, yeah. Viola's one of my favorite too. I've read her book. I would say I've listened to her book. Shout out to Audible.
Wonderful book.
It is. It really is.
I bought the book expecting it to be about acting. I was looking for acting nuggets,
Yeah.
but her life story is, I mean, the challenges that she has gone through in her life are just, and the fact that she's gotten through on the other side and has done just so tremendously well. She's an inspiration,
Yeah.
not just as an actor, but certainly as a person.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
wonderful
love
book.
I love her even more after reading that book. So I'm happy she was willing to share her story. We needed that. We
Mhm.
needed that from her.
Mhm.
And Ken, my last question. Tell me one line that you'll never forget from one of your roles, from one of your scripts.
He was a good dude.
Okay. And what is that in reference to?
That's from Disco Beats. Disco Beats, Pepe Serna's granddaughter in the film, Shireen Crutchfield, she mentions, her grandfather, Lou, in the film to me. And I recall my relationship with him in the film, and I answer, he was a good dude. And I felt that way certainly about his character. I feel that way about Pepe, about my father, my uncle. But yeah, he was a good dude.
He was a good dude. I think I'm going to remember that now. Well, Ken, thank you so much. I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. If you have any final thoughts or anything that you would like to share with us, please absolutely do. But you've been a pleasure to speak with, very smooth and debonair, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your time. So do you have any last thoughts for us?
You've been so wonderful. You've asked me such wonderful, insightful questions that it's hard for me to not say whatever it is that I wanted to say. So kudos to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But other than repeating myself, follow your heart and live every moment and enjoy life. That's pretty much it. It's great advice.
Yeah.
My uncle gave it to me. I live it to this day, and I continue to do so.
Yeah, that's good advice from an OG, 25 plus years in the game. You have to respect it. So thank you so much, Ken, again, for being on the Actors Talk with Gabby Kennedy. We look forward to seeing you at UrbanFest 360, happening at Afro TV Studios in Orlando, September 20th and 21st. And you'll definitely want to be there on the 21st because we have a special celebrity guest joining us. And I can't wait, an amazing premiere that's also happening. So we'll look forward to seeing you there, and I hope you enjoy your time in Orlando. All right.
Thanks, Gabby.
Peace out, Ken. Thank you. We're on, girl. We are live.
All right.